Welcome everyone! It is our 19th day of the 4-week challenge, and today we have our third cardio restore class. About 10 minutes of cardio, followed by a nice restorative realigning time on the mats. Today you will need a mat or something to lay down on, and grab yourself a towel. We use this to sit up on. We'll be using this up against our spine. You don't have to use a towel, you don't have to use anything, but sometimes these props help us to get a little bit deeper and get into these positions with some assistance. For the beginning section, we will be going down to our mat for our cardio, but make sure you don't trip over your mat when we're standing. So if you have extra space, do the standing sections off of the mat and then get on the mat for the things we do down there. First round, each exercise is 45 seconds each. Use it as sort of a warm-up round. Second round, each exercise is 30 seconds. Now that the body's warm, push harder. Last round, each exercise is 20 seconds each. Push as hard as you can. Now, what that looks like to get you there is going to be different than what that takes for me to get there. So listen to your bodies, figure out where you need to go today for yourself. All right, movers, let's get into this cardio first. Get that sweat pumping. Let's go. All right, first exercise, just a nice little jog, jogging it out. You can also do this as a march. We're gonna get going here. And go. So marching it right here, or take it to a little jog. Again, using this first round to warm up the body, deepen the breath, connect to your body. Whatever has happened before this class, try to let it go, release it, just focus in on the present moment. Be here with your bodies and warm them up. About 15 seconds left. Can you pick up the pace a little bit? And connect to that breath. Really inhale and exhale. 5 more seconds, take it to step outs next. In 3, 2, 1. Step out, reach out. Big stretch in the side body. Reaching overhead. Now all of these exercises, we're going to bump up in the second round, but you can stick here the entire time. And you push to wherever you need to go to get your heart rate up. Challenge yourself wherever you can. Keep that breath going, 15 more seconds. We're heading to that mat next. Going into some push-ups. In 3, 2, 1, take it down. 45 seconds, I'm gonna just stay on my knees right here. Press, focus on form. Draw the belly button in, tuck the pelvis under. Breathe. Press your hands and the pads of your fingertips into the floor. You can also do this on an incline, wherever your push-ups are today. About 15 more seconds. So I'm here, plank step in and out. 3, 2, 1. Lift the toes, step the feet in, drop the tailbone, step back. Alternate which foot leads, and find that moment where you take your hands off of the mat. Pressing strong back into the plank, and really dropping the tailbone down low. Opening up the hips. Working through the shoulders. About 15 more seconds. Should feel that heart rate starting to increase. The breath getting heavier. 3, 2, 1. Tabletop lifts, fingertips back, lift the hips up and down. I got so into those moves, almost forgot what was next. Fingertips face towards your body. You keep the knees bent, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing the butt. If this does not feel accessible to your wrists or your shoulders, take it down to a regular glute bridge. Squeeze at the top, press it up. We go back to standing into some power squats next. 3, 2, 1, stand it up, power squats, step out, take the elbows and knees together, step out, sink it down, step out, sink it down. So now those feet come out wider than hip width distance, again dropping that tailbone down. If you can't get your elbows to your knees, that's all right. Just trying is the main thing. Keep the chest up. Not letting my head dip down, dropping my butt down. We have a little tiny break after this one before we get into that second round. And break. All right. Take a little walk out, keep moving, keep walking around, march it out. Okay, second round. Each exercise is 30 seconds each. Now we're warm, we're gonna push a little bit harder. Go. All right, jog can be a little bit faster and move those arms. Moving my hands from my ear to my pocket with intention. Maybe bring my knees up a little bit higher as well. Breathe. Option for step outs or jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1. Jumping jacks, land softly. Fingertips touch overhead every single time. Can we speed it up? Can you make those jacks a little bit wider? Keep the belly pulled in. Five more seconds into push-ups in 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Push-ups. Press at the top. Tuck the pelvis under. Lowering that chest down as far as you can get it, wherever that is today. Those plank step-ins and step-outs. In 3, 2, 1. Tuck the toes under, step it in, step it out. Okay, option to stay here. Or we add a jump to this. Jump in, jump back. Still hitting that nice plank position every time. And bring the hands up. Disengage the hands from the mat, drop the tailbone down. Tabletop lift in 3, 2, 1. Take it back, lift up and down. Press up. These don't have to be fast necessarily. They're more about stabilizing, pushing into the palms and into the heels of the feet. Power squats. Now jumping into them. Ready? Switch. Jumping out into it. Down and up. Down. Elbows to knees. Or you can take those step out still. You can also reach the arms all the way overhead. Can't we speed it up? Three, 2, 1. Little break. Whew. Okay, last round. Each exercise, 20 seconds each. Push as hard as you can. Breathless state. High knees or jog, go. 20 seconds. Burn into it. Jumping jacks or star jumps? Star jumps are here. Then try to land softly. Ooh. Push-ups next. Keep the core engaged. Come on, movers. We got this. Almost there. Tabletop lift or back plank lift. Back plank, straight legs. Open up the heart. Frog jumps. Next. Jump it in, jump it out. Whew, I switch up the order there. Keeping you on your toes this last round. Let's go. A little bit faster. Power squats. After try to take them in the air. Land softly. Try to get elbows to knees. Almost there. Oh, walk it out. Take it to mummy kicks. Little kicks in front. Trying to gently bring the heart rate down. Bring the arms overhead. Little crosses. Feet out wide, twist. Draw that core in. Fill up the lungs. It's a lot of work. Definitely should be gasping for air. The goal is that it's hard to talk. I can attest to that. Hands behind the head, side bend. Using this, not necessarily to really get in deep into the muscles, but just keep moving the spine, keep moving the blood until we slow that heart rate down. Easy. We don't want to slam on the brakes of our body. Just stop moving after pushing it that hard. We want to give it some movement so it can settle down, slow and safe. Bring it up, big arm circles. Circle other way. Embracing that sweat that's breaking. That glow we've achieved. All right, give yourself a little shake out. Grab water, grab your towel. Let's get into the restore section. Yes. Well, I definitely think we're warm now. So we can stretch out, get into the joints, have your towel handy. Start by just sitting upright, hands on the knees, and move the chest around. Just circle it around. We do this in our flow classes as well. But it's just a nice, easy motion to get into the spine, circle other way. Especially all of the jumping we did. It can be a lot on the spine, all of that force. Could bring it center, forward, and back. Doing cat-cow motion. It should hopefully be less force the more we engage our core, right? So it's like putting on a weight belt or a corset. It just helps bring everything in, support everything. That's why keeping that core engaged the whole time is so important. Bring it up, switch so the other leg is in front, side bend. But you know, especially as we get tired, we sometimes forget. So nice to take care of that spine. Just check in with it. Make sure it's still with us. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't fall out or roll away during that cardio section. And even here, keep belly pulled in, right? So even though this is restorative, that doesn't mean you're just relaxed. We're still getting deep into all the muscles. Just doing it with a little bit different intention. Okay. Hands behind the head, boss pose. Open up the elbows, lift up through the heart. As we do this, again, keep the belly drawn in. I'm not just arching back and letting go. Keep my core pulled in, then try and lift a string on my chest up towards the ceiling. Also open up the shoulders, bring it all the way up. Hands go behind me. Some internal work in our hips. We do a lot of external work. Today we're gonna work on that parallel and internal. Take one knee and draw it in and just see how that feels. Keep this hip pulling back as the knee, just gravity lets it fall in. So I'm not really forcing it. Switch over to the other side, just let that knee come in. I like to let this butt cheek lift up and then I try to pull that hip back again and see where that feels. It feels real kind of nervy inside this hip joint. And I just kind of do that, a little back and forth, really focusing on that internal rotation. So I see a lot of, myself included, when we sit, when we relax, our legs just kind of roll open. They roll naturally open to that external rotation. So sometimes that means our internal rotation doesn't get any use. Or if it does, definitely probably not as much as the external. Not everyone, but I've noticed that in clients and myself, definitely in patients that I've worked with. So that inspired me. Let's get those inside movement going too. But bring one knee in, stack the other foot on top of that knee, and let it just fall. Again, gravity. So I'm not pushing, I'm not forcing. We don't want to tear anything in here or do any real big damage. Just letting the weight pull it down and then take this hip and gently pull it back. It's only like a millimeter, maybe not even that. Just gently, you can even take the hand and gently pull it back. It's not necessarily, I mean, it depends. It may feel like a huge stretch. Definitely feel something going on in like the back here too. Maybe you don't really feel anything. That's okay. Still working into that hip and into the rotation. You can move around. You can kind of find where works best for you too. Switch over to the other side. Let the knee fall in. Take the other foot, gently place it, and ease that hip back. This side, I know for me, is tighter. So this side feels a little stickier, a little twingier. Breathe into it. Notice where your heart rate is, where your breath is. Hopefully now you can have a conversation. You've settled that breath enough and the heart rate down enough where you can talk again. If not, really focus on the breath. Take some deep inhale, exhale, and try it. Calm everything down. Settle everything back in. Okay, take it over to the other side. Tuck this knee in, extend the other leg out, and pull that knee back. So now I'm opening the hip, push this hip forward, and have that heel tucked back to my glutes. Keep facing side, elbow comes to the inside of the straight leg, reach the other arm up and stretch over, side bend. If you have it accessible to your body, you can take this top hand and try reaching maybe for this toe over here. Don't have to though. It really depends on our hips, on our hamstrings, on our side body length. But if you want to, or if you want to try, sometimes it's just fun to like try, you know. But if you can grab onto it, then you can point the toe and help encourage that stretch a little bit deeper. Keep spiraling the heart towards the ceiling. Bring it up. Little hip opener. Plant this foot back behind you. So I kind of move that foot from back here, right underneath the knee. Take the hand back behind, lift the hips up, reach the arm up towards the ceiling. Let me show you what this looks like to the side. One leg straight, other leg bent, reaching up, lift up, push the hips up towards the ceiling, and you can stretch that arm back behind as well. Breathe. Press with that bottom hand. Lower back down. Ooh, yeah. Tuck the knee in, other leg straight. Turn this way. Really trying to tuck that heel right towards your glute. Lift it through the heart. Hinge yourself over, but still try and keep this hip bone down. Change the stretch. I can't go down as far with my leg this way, but again, it's good to work these stretches with our legs and our hips in different angles. Kind of sway side to side. And flex that front foot. Get more into the calf. We did a lot of that jumping and into the leg, so we want to get into the calf and into the ankles as well. Now bring it up. Place that foot right next to the inner thigh. Keep it parallel. Lift yourself up. Spinal twist. Opposite hand crosses over the midline, grabs onto the thigh, and spiral yourself. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. You can also take this elbow, hook it on the other side, and push against the tricep to deepen the spiral. Bring it back in. Yeah. Give it a little shake out to this hip. Ooh. And we'll switch to the other side. Tuck this knee in. Extend the other leg out. Open the knee up. Again, this hip is a little bit tighter, so I already feel this more on this side. Side bend, lift it up and over. That's a good thing, right? Feeling it more where you need it. That's your body communicating to you, telling you, giving you a little insight into, oh, we're a little tight on the side. You need to pay some attention to it. If you can try and reach and grab. You can grab, you can try and point that toe. Ooh, that's stickier. Keep spiraling the heart towards the ceiling. Bring it all the way up. That reach, take the foot, plant it down, hand goes behind, lift the hips up, don't turn sideways. Always think of like a dramatic lyrical dance moment. Here, reach the arm back behind. Who doesn't love some good body drama? Body movement drama, I should say. When our bodies are causing drama, that's not always the thing that we want. But moving dramatically sometimes feels real good. Bring the leg forward, tuck this heel back underneath, sit up tall. Just notice, maybe this is doing a lot in that hip, just trying to be here. Maybe you can't get all the way up, but you just can inch your way over. That's fine. Or hinge yourself over. See how that feels? You can try flexing the foot. You can try swaying side to side. This is all about finding what works for your body and building that relationship. Just like when you start dating someone, not even when you've been in a marriage for 20 years, right? You still got to put in the time to those relationships. We always got to put in the time to the relationship with ourselves and our bodies. We think they're always going to be there, but they can fall apart. They can have things happen to them that we don't mean to have happen, just like other relationships. Bring it up, tuck that foot in, hug it in, spinal twist. Happens to all of us too. So try not to shame ourselves if it happens, but just adjust, pivot, see if we can grow and learn from it. and deepen that relationship again. Cross over the elbow as an option, twist a little bit deeper. Yeah. Bring it back in, good. Take those knees, just bring them in towards each other, and then out. In and out. Now the further away your feet are, the more space you have. So if you have it real close here, I mean, this will feel easier, but it may not be really stretching into the hips. Oh, it's awkward, right? It's not like, this is not, for me at least, it's not like that pigeon pose where you're like, oh yeah, feels so good. It's like an awkward stretch, but doesn't mean it's not valuable. It's just more twingy. It's very gentle. It's not as satisfying to me. Or I can just hang out in it and like, it washes over. It's definitely challenging. And I know it's good for my body. So we're here, we're doing it. Okay. All right, give those legs a little bit of a shake out. Take that mat or a towel or rolled up whatever you have and let's lay down on it. You want it right along the spine. If you can have the head off, great. Now I have some clients and friends who they can't have their head this extended or their neck this extended, in which case take the towel out or put another towel underneath your head so you have a little bit of a pillow. But if you can, lengthen and set the back of your head down. This way we're combating all of that forward punching we do and opening up through the neck, opening up through the spine. Keep the belly pulled in and try to keep those ribs also drawn in as well. Circle the arms, lift them overhead. Notice if the ribs come out, and then circle around. Keep going here. Wrap your shoulder blades around the towel and keep the shoulder blades wrapped around the towel as you move through. A lot to think about. Hold your arms up towards the ceiling and let's deconstruct that a little more. Reach your arms up. So shoulder blades come off the towel and then pull the shoulder blades back down and wrap them around the towel. Now pull them up and wrap them around. Reach the arms out the sockets, draw the arms back into the sockets. When we reach our arms forward, we usually have the tendency to let them come out of their sockets. We're trying to resist that. So keep the shoulders drawn back in, circle other direction as you reach up. Keep those shoulders drawn in as you reach up. Did they come up or are they still pulling down as you move through? It's a lot more concentration than it looks. Keep the ribs knit in. One more. Bring it up, palms together. Open up and close in. Again, keeping the shoulder blades rolling back. This is engaging our back body, opening up the front of our chest, and trying to open up the spine and our torso to combat all of the forward hunching that a lot of us do. Take into a Y up above you and bring it back up. Now I'm going to notice if you bring the arms overhead, if you let the ribs go, I can bring my hands further back. I don't want to say cheating, it's just not what we're doing right now. So keep those ribs down and in, and now my arms can only go back about that far. They can't touch the ground though. So I'm getting a deeper stretch and I'm isolating this movement into opening up my chest, which is where I need it and where most of us need it more than arching our back. Hold the arms overhead in that Y position. Do little circles. Keep the belly drawn in. If you need to bend your elbows, you can also bend the elbows, but try to keep those nice long extended arms. Circle other way. Push lower back down into the towel, down into the mat. Keep a tuck of the pelvis under. Hold the arms overhead. Just hold, let gravity stretch. Bend the elbows, cactus the arms, bring them back down and in. Yeah. All right, lengthen the legs all the way out. bend the curl yourself up. Let's go from here. So bend the elbows now, prop yourself up, and then lengthen the chin and see if you can drop the head back. Again, if your neck cannot handle this extension, then I want you to just go to a boss pose here and open up the heart and drop the chin. Otherwise, see if you can open up the heart and drop the head back and reach the chin up. So I'm not just letting my head fall. I'm really lengthening, still using my muscles to push up and out, reaching my chin further. Tuck the chin in gently. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. Reach the chin, jut the chin out and reach it. It's like a big rainbow up and over. And you can always just do a boss pose instead. Just working that extension through the neck and spine. Tuck the chin. Be careful though, the neck, one last time, is sensitive. Come out of it however you need to, or do anything else that you need to. Good. Bring it in, slow, slow, slow. Yeah, push yourself all the way up. All right. Working into a split. Yeah, split time. A split stretch. I'm gonna put this underneath my knee because I like to have extra padding. The other leg comes forward. Start with this nice lunge position first. So again, trying to keep the hips parallel. Push this back hip forward. Press the hip down to the ground. Zip the belly button up, lift through the heart. Drop it back, flex the toes. Give yourself a hamstring stretch. You can wag the tail. Now you have the choice. You can just stay here, going forward and back. We've worked these stretches before. Or if you want to try to extend into your split stretch, then inch this front foot forward. More. You can use your hands to help prop you up. Definitely can take that back towel out as well. Or you can take that towel and you can place it like underneath your butt. Maybe you need a few towels, maybe you need to fold up a little bit more, and then it gives you like a little seat right there. That's nice. A pillow will do as well. Otherwise, take it out and just see. See if you can keep your hips square. Ooh, feel that big stretch through this hip flexor. Lift it through the heart. And breathe. Now you can open up that back hip and sink a little bit deeper. So I let this back hip rotate open. And usually we're able to sink down a little bit lower. Just breathe into it. Don't force it wherever you are. And know that it changes every day. So try not to judge it. Just go where you can. Really try and straighten that back leg. That's the thing I always have to remind myself. Bring yourself to the back, to the side. Let that hand help bring that back leg forward. Give it a little shake out. And we'll switch over to the other side. Okay. However you can get there, if you want to use that towel as extra cushioning underneath the back knee, go for it. Lunge yourself forward, square the hips, and bring yourself up. Really, the purpose of this moment, for most of us, especially for me, is opening up that hip flexor. Splits is hamstring, is a back of the thigh flexibility, but also big flexibility in the hips and in the front of the hip right here on that back leg. Go back, flex the foot, maybe wag the tail. So we want to open up those muscles, hamstrings and hip flexors, before we just go into our split stretch. Option to just move forward and back, or just work into the hip joints right here. If you want to go into the splits, then inch that foot forward. You can take this towel out. I'll show you again what it looks like. I'm going to give myself a little seat. I put it underneath that butt cheek, and it helps just let my weight sit there. And maybe you have one towel, maybe you have a stack of towels this high to sit down on. Hey, that's great too. It's wherever you need it to feel for your hip. Let me try taking that out and see how this side is today. Square your hips. Notice if one side feels tighter than the other. This is definitely my tighter side. pressing and breathing. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. If you want, you can open that back hip so you can sink a little bit lower. If you're not sure what I mean by open up the back hip, that's okay. Just keep breathing into it. Do that rotation of the hip open. And if you're already there, keep breathing into it. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into it. As long as you feel a lengthen in a good way. You don't want to stretch to the point where you're tensing and it's really hurting, and knowing where that limit is, where it's challenging, discomfort, yes, but not painful, not causing injury. All right, lean over to that front leg, take this back hand, let it gently come forward, do a little shake out. Yeah, excellent. All right, reach your hands and knees, quadruped position. A few cat-cows around the spine, lengthen the spine. Draw the belly button in, then reach out long. Okay, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift up to a down dog, and walk it out. Press the shoulders back. Take one hand, cross it over, and reach towards that opposite foot. If you can't reach to the foot, then just kind of reach and peek underneath your armpit. Give yourself a little twist. We're doing these kind of one-arm lifts and balances, three-point balances. It can be a lot, so work where you can. Switch over to the other side, crossing over. Look under the armpit, twist. Back center one more time each way. You can also absolutely do something like this, just coming here. Trying to look underneath that armpit and really feeling a twist in that upper spine. My hips are staying relatively square. It's the upper back that's trying to twist and spiral through the top of my head. Other side, last time. Oh, that feels so good for me. All right, walk yourself up to your hands. Let yourself hang. Give yourself some bounces. Roll up halfway, same thing. Give yourself some bounces, ragdoll bounces. Yes. Lower yourself down. A little ankle mobility is coming down right here. Stand yourself back up. Tuck the toes. Top of the foot on, bend yourself down. Feel a big stretch on the top of that foot. Again, want to work that ankle. And come up, switch over other foot. That little bend just deepens it for me. And finding what you need for your body. Good, both heels up, bring it down. Try and lift those heels up, give a stretch. That feels too intense, then you can do one foot at a time. All right, otherwise, keep those heels lifted, really pushing my weight up and over. Opening up the bottom, that connection of my toes to the pad, ball of my foot, opening up that space. And if you feel so bold, put your weight in your hands, tuck both toes over, and try and sink into it here. That's not as comfortable for me, but good for me to try. All right, take yourself all the way down, laying down on the mat. Roll the shoulders back. Take your legs out wide and do that internal, external rotation. Settle the breath, maybe close the eyes. Release the legs, let the legs just fall where they may. And today, since we're working that internal rotation, bend the knees and knock the knees together. If this does not feel comfortable, straighten the legs back out again. We're going to see if we can release and relax into this position. Keep that belly pulled in and reach the crown of the head. Maybe adjust your body so you're lengthening the spine. Take a few deep breaths here and just sink into your body. Feel the weight melt into the floor. A little sort of shavasana, reflection, a moment of quiet, a moment to be present with yourself, let all of the work of this past week, past day, past month sink in, releasing anything that won't serve you, and being grateful for all of the things that have laid the foundation to make you stronger from this point forward. Hug your knees in towards your chest and roll onto one side of your body. Keep your eyes closed, little fetus position. When you're ready, lift yourself up to a seated position, ending where we began, this restorative section, crossing the legs, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down, sitting up tall, gently blinking the eyes open, aligning yourself from the ground, from the roots all the way up to the crown of your head. Taking your hands, fluffing your aura, rub them together, create that heat, create that energy, all that good juju. Shake it out. Cross it up top, in the middle, down low. Lift the energy up and let it pour down on you. Oh, so nice. Yeah, way to go, movers. The end of our Cardio Restore 3 class, the end of our 3rd week of the 4-week challenge. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, sign up at patreon.com/movewithmidnight. If you are doing the full 4-week challenge program, our journal prompt for today is to complete this statement. Today, I choose to let go of things I cannot control, like ... and or I don't need all the answers right now. Today, I give myself permission to not know ... We've been reflecting upon stress and how it affects us and how we manage it over the past few days. So in that same theme, what are some of the things we can let go of? What are some of the things that are not serving us over the next couple of days? Your prompt is to do fun activity again. So 20 to 25 minutes of whatever fun activity you want to do. And then if you want to reflect upon how it felt doing that activity, that will be your journal prompt. We also have meditation prompts every Sunday or every 7th day. So that's an option for you to do as well. But again, this 4-week challenge is really for you to adjust however you need to fit your life and your schedule. As long as you're participating the way that you see fit, you're doing it right. If you're doing the full challenge or want to know more about all the journal prompts, you can check it out at movewithmidnight.com/4-week challenge. Check out our website, our YouTube channel for all the other classes and things going on. If you want to show your gratitude, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, or share with your friends. I hope you're feeling light and stretched and worked. All of the amazing things our body and our mind just did. Enjoy it. Take it with you. You earned it. Thank you so much for moving with me, everyone, and I will see you next time. See you later.